Welcome back to CLSB Politics. Sean Briscoe here. This is part 7 of my Project 2025, and we're talking about what they want to do to Medicaid and Medicare, and none of it's good. I honestly, if they get away with this, it'll be insane. It literally goes against their entire vote electorate. Republicans skew older. This is going to have an insane effect on the elderly, which is literally their voter bloc. So let's take a look, shall we? All right. First question is, what is Medicaid? And you always hear Medicaid, Medicare, Medicaid, Medicare, and they do different things. And just to help people understand what exactly we're talking about when they talk about cutting Medicaid and cutting Medicare, what are they cutting? Like exactly. So Medicaid is a joint federal and state program that gives health coverage to people with limited income and resources, effectively people that are economically challenged, or poor people. Fun fact I learned was that half the top 10 states on Medicaid are GOP states, with more than 1 in 3 of the adult population on Medicaid. And that blows my mind. That's Louisiana, West Virginia, Alaska, Kentucky, and Arkansas. These states are more than likely going to vote Republican. And they're literally voting to kill off their population. It's insane. I've never really understood it. I've watched this play out cycle after cycle after cycle, and it blows my mind every time. Every time these guys vote against their own self-interests. I mean, what are you doing? Anyway, so that's Medicaid. That's what's going on there. So Medicare is different, right? And this is the one that really blows my mind. Medicare, it's a federal health insurance program for people ages 65 and older and younger people with disabilities. So just Florida, Texas, and Ohio alone have 11 million people on Medicare. Just those 3 states, those 3 Republican states. I mean, Florida and Texas each have almost 500 million. It's insane. If 500 million people in Texas knew they were about to lose their health insurance, which is what 2025 is talking about, they're like, we can't afford it. So, yeah. And that goes for like hospice. That goes for so literally in rural Texas, and I can speak directly from this because I've run congressional races out there. Well, the districts are so gerrymandered. It started in Travis County, but ended in Fort Worth. I mean, and so there's a whole lot of rural in between those two, right? They'll be out of business. Every healthcare institution in rural Texas will immediately close. And I asked this one director, this was back in 2018, when they were really talking about getting rid of this stuff. And I was like, well, what does that look like for you? And she's like, well, we would wheel everyone out in the front and close the doors and call the fire department. There won't be any more hospitals for them to take these elderly to. And some of them are on dialysis. Some are just have dementia. They're old, and they would have nothing. She was extremely clear about that. So in 2018, when they were talking about getting rid of the ACA, and John McCain did that to their BS bill, yeah, it kept healthcare alive in rural Texas, flat out. So, yeah. There's no real other way to candy coat that. So my next question is, why the hell would the GOP want to get rid of these government programs? Well, there's there's not the money in it they want there to be in it for them. That's the only thing I can think of. And it's not that there isn't a lot of money in those programs. Of course there are, because it's expensive. We're literally, the boomers are the largest generation in the history of our country that are retiring, in the history of our country, that have ever retired. And they're looking at the math going, well, yeah, well, we can't do anything about that. Well, no, we can. We can, take care of, you know, our grandparents. I mean, they helped build this country. And now we're just going to put them on the curb? That just seems completely unrealistic. Project 2025 has been garbage. Every part I do, it just feels like I'm digging deeper and deeper in a giant pile of flaming garbage. And this one, electorally, I don't understand how the GOP want to do this, but here we are. So I'm going to end this one with another quote. Blessed is he who, in the name of charity and goodwill, shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And that, to me, sums up this part of Project 2025 and what's wrong with it. All right, guys. I'm glad. Thank you for all your support. Please, share and subscribe. If you have a grandmother or grandfather who's a Republican who votes, all during presidential cycles, please send them this video. They're going to be directly impacted by this part of Project 2025. And remember, they are doing this in the first 180 days. So this is what's happening. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Remember to like and share and subscribe and do all that fun jazz. And I hope that everyone has a good week. CLSP Politics, Sean Briscoe signing out.